our educators here at Grandfather. I'm going to talk a little bit about our otters, and then while I'm talking, and actually I'll probably start here at the beginning of the talk, getting him to come on out if he's not already running around. Have you seen an otter yet?
No.
Yeah. Taking a little nap. So I'm going to try and call our otter out. Hopefully he'll either come out when I start calling him here at the beginning or while I'm talking. Otherwise, towards the very end, I'll try again. But at the very end, I do have some enrichment that I'm going to give our otter. I have some frozen tuna cubes as a special little treat for him, and I will be throwing and scattering those kind of all across the grass in front of the overlook. But we do have 2 North American river otters here at Grandfather. However, you're going to notice here in a moment when I start calling, I'm only calling for one of them. And that is because Uno, the otter that's currently in the habitat and that hopefully will come out for us today, he absolutely hates our other otter.
Oh.
When we first got Uno, we actually tried introducing him to Oscar, and he was having none of it. He was mean, he was nasty, and a big old boy. Unfortunately, because of that, we do have to keep them separated for safety reasons. And so, right now, Uno has access to the main habitat, and Oscar is in the building just off to the right of the habitat here. And throughout the day, they swap. Every time they get a meal, and they get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they swap out who gets here and who gets access to the inside building, where they've got several different dens and a little outside-inside room where sometimes they'll go and hang out. So if you see an otter as you're walking along the path in that little inside-outside room in the building, you'll be looking at Oscar. Unless it's this afternoon, in which case you're looking at him. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call just a handful of times for Uno. We'll see if I can get him to come out immediately. Sometimes he's taking his post-breakfast nap, and he needs some time to wake himself up. And so sometimes it takes until during or at the end of the talk for him to actually come out. You get a little room right here. Uno! Now likely, if we don't see him right now, he is probably behind that log in the center underneath of it. Even though that log is stuffed full of all sorts of comfy pine straw and bedding, Uno decided a couple years ago that that was no longer good enough for him and that he really liked underneath of the log. So he has actually dug a hole under the log on the back side, and we filled it in with rocks many, many times, and he always goes in and he pulls out all the rocks. So he is probably back there. Again, if he doesn't come out here after I call 1 or 2 more times, I'm going to go... Oh, did he poke? There he is. There we go. Perfect. Uno.
Hi, Uno.
Hello, Uno.
Uno.
Anyway, now that he's out, I can go ahead and properly get started with the talk. So
hi, Uno.
Uno and Oscar. Uno, Uno, unfortunately, is here with us at Grandfather due to being found orphaned as a baby out in the wild. He was actually found in the Asheville area as a tiny little baby alongside a flooded river. The people that found him said that they think probably his family got washed away during the flood, and so he was left behind. Could have been the opposite. Could have been him that got washed away, but for whatever reason, they could not find any sign of a mother otter around, and for an abandoned baby otter, that's a really big problem. Because otters are extremely reliant on their mothers to basically not only teach them everything they need to know about how to be a functional adult river otter, but they also need to be basically totally taken care of as a baby. They are very, very reliant on their mothers. And so Uno, without his mom, would almost certainly have not survived on his own. Thankfully, the people that found him picked him up, and then they brought him back. Although they had very good intentions and they very likely saved his life. The people that found him also took care of him and treated him a lot like a pet for 2 years.
Ooh.
Before eventually turning him over to an otter rehabilitator, which may have caused some issues a little later down the line. Thankfully, they did eventually give him over to a professional otter rehabilitator, which was super important because as babies, again, they need to be taught
Bye, Uno.
about how to be an adult otter. And so, it turns out humans can also step in and teach baby otters how to otter. And so, with the rehabilitator, they were first able to start by teaching Uno how to swim. Once Uno could swim, he could then be taught how to hunt. These guys are voracious predators, mostly of fish and shellfish. And once he could swim, once he could hunt, and once Uno was just a little bit older, it was time for him to hopefully go back out into the wild. However, before you can release an otter back into the wild after rehab, they have to pass 3 separate tests. The first 2 of those tests are pretty simple and self-explanatory. They're what we call the swimming test and the hunting test. And your otter just has to prove one final time before going back into the wild that they can in fact swim and hunt well enough to survive. And for Uno, he had 0 issues with either of those tests. He is a fantastic swimmer and he is a fantastic hunter. The problem was the third test. And the third test is probably the most important of the 3 tests, and it's what we call the stranger test. And with the stranger test, what we're looking for is a healthy fear of humans in your otter. For reasons I'll get into in just a second, it is extremely important that we do not release an otter into the wild that has no fear of people. And so, with the stranger test, you introduce your little otter to a human that they've never seen, heard, or smelled before, and what you want to see is that your otter wants nothing to do with that stranger. You want them to be afraid, shy, and to stay away. Uno miserably failed the stranger test. He went running up to the stranger, jumped up into their lap, and bit him. Which was cute and adorable as that was, unfortunately it meant he had no longer had a good and so he could not go back out into the wild, and that may have been for a couple of different reasons. For one, again, he was treated like a pet for about 2 weeks. He was really taken care of very directly by people, and he may have gotten being around humans in that time. That may also be a little bit as to why he was not typically in the hospital. But the other thing is that during the rehab process, ultimately you have to work with that otter a little bit to make sure that they can. Cooper, if you want to just drop those off. But typically during the rehab process, they can get a little too used to people because you do have to work with them. But for whatever reason, Uno failed that stranger test.
Hi, Uno.
Actually made his way here to Grandfather Mountain, where he is now 8 years old. So he's been with us for a good bit, and on average, an otter can be about 15 years old. Hopefully, they'll still have a good amount of time left with us. However, the reason that
Uno.
so important, he cannot put an otter back into the wild if it's not afraid of people, is because for as cute and cuddly and adorable as he may look, don't let Uno, because Uno, being an otter, is still a part of the mustelid family of mammals, which is the family that includes weasels,
Hi, Uno.
they are animals that are efficient predator teeth. They can have nasty attitudes, but most importantly, with mustelids in general, but especially with the North American river otter, it also just so happens that they have one of the strongest biceps and they can break through any bone in the human body. So if you
Hey, Uno.
lived along the river, and one day we had a pretty serious otter come running.
Hey, Uno, buddy.
Understandably, a lot of people didn't
Oh, here, Daisy. Look. There he is.
Uno. Hi. Hi, Uno. Hey, buddy. Uno.
never want to put an otter into the wild and make provoke a situation like that.
Just a few more minutes. All right?
Okay, now keep it right.
We can see them feeding.
But that's
Let me squeeze in, Daisy.
go
Here,
in
let
with
me
you
see.
now.
Let him take his picture.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Aw.
Here, Daisy. Look at me, Daisy.
I can't hear
Had extra food that I wasn't giving out fast enough.
Okay, come on, Daisy.
you. It's gonna be gone.
Come on, Leffa.
Hi, Uno.
Let's go see some other
On
stuff.
that note, I'm going to go ahead and give Hopefully he'll spend some time
He's gonna feed them. So he's gonna tell them.
frozen tuna. Like
Okay, and then we're gonna go, okay?
once I am done tossing the tuna,
I can't see it.
Hey, everyone's gonna get a turn because he's going to scatter the tuna all around, okay?
but I'm going to hang out.
Why don't we see, how about you scoot this way? Hey, no fighting with your own. Hey, you wanna stay right here?
Hi, Uno. Uno.
Oh, Uno.
Hey, Uno.
Finally came home.
So don't move.
Daisy, stay there. They're gonna
He's a
feed
pretty
him.
big otter. And he's so sweet.
Yep, he's making his rounds.
Uno.
Hi, Uno.
Look, they're gonna feed him, Daisy.
Hey.
Tiny bit of room in here real quick as I go ahead and give him. Uno, are you ready?
Just stay up there, then I feed him. Stay so you can see. Let's scoot over.
I'll take that as a yes.
Alrighty guys, I'm gonna toss some tuna cubes in. You ready?
Yep.
I think Uno's ready.
Aw. Hey, Uno.
So Uno likes people, but that makes him no less dangerous. Oh, absolutely. Uno, no more. That's your treat. And again, those are totally frozen solid tuna cubes, and he's biting through it like it is nothing.
Wow.
All done. It's all done.
Uno. Look at those teeth. Uno. Uno.
Oh, my students are gonna love this.
Hey, Uno. Hey, Uno. Man, he is really enjoying those cubes. Uno.
If anyone needs to come through,